Welcome back to the channel. Put that down, then you can hear me. I've got a new helmet. What do you think? I've not only a new helmet, I've got a new bike. So I know it's been a while since I posted a bike video, but I have sold my BMW R1250 GS Adventure, which I had for just short of 2 years. Did 26,000 miles on it. I'll put a link below to the last video that I made about that bike. It's in that video it was a 20,000 mile review. It was a bit of an honest review. Shared my experiences with that bike and what I thought of it. But I've changed it. I've got a new bike. It's not actually new anymore, really. I got it early November last year. It's now just towards the end of April, so I've had it 6 months and it's done 3,500 miles. But it's the first time I've had a chance to show you my new bike, and I was umming and ahhing in that last video about what I should have swapped my new bike for, what I should have swapped my 1250 Adventure for. Should I get another one? Should I get the new 1300 Adventure? Should I look at something else, a Ducati or a Triumph or something like that? So the story goes that that last 1250 Adventure went in for a service. It went in for, I think it was something like its 24,000 mile service. It was a big service. This is me in a nutshell. Pay for a big service on a bike and then sell it. But it went in for a service. I didn't really have any intention of swapping it then. I was a couple of years into the PCP. I was going to let it run to 3 years. But I was doing a lot of miles on that bike because my commute when I first got it was quite long. So the miles have been piling up on it. Like I say, it was on just over 26,000 miles. But it went in for a service and they flagged up that it needed a new rear brake disc. Now, that's not unusual. Like a lot of people, I use my rear brake a lot when I'm doing slow speed manoeuvring, filtering traffic, stuff like that. And the Adventure's a big bike, so that the disc was down past its minimum sort of tolerance. So I thought, well, rear brake disc, that's a job I can do myself. I'm not ruining the warranty by fitting it myself as long as I use BMW parts. So I rang up Bowker's in Preston, ordered a new rear brake disc, went down the following week to go and pick it up. And it just so happened to be that when I picked it up, or when I arrived to pick up this brake disc, that it was the sort of launch weekend for the new 1300 GS Adventure. So the 1300 GS has been out for about 12 months at that point, maybe a bit longer. And the Adventure had just come out, and to be honest, I hadn't been that chuffed with the looks of the new 1300 Adventure. It was a bit, shall we say, challenging in the pictures. But to be fair, when I turned up at Bowker's, there were a lot of these Adventures in, different specs, some with luggage on, some without. I actually thought the bike was a much better looking bike than it was in the photographs. Still maybe not as nice looking as the 1250 Adventure, but that's subjective, isn't it? You know, it's down to what you think and what your preferences are. So I had a sit on a couple, liked it, but it was quite expensive. What are they, 25,000? There was no discounts on them because they were brand new. The interest rates, something like 9%. It was quite high on the PCPs on them at the point. But I started thinking, oh, you know what it's like, man maths, can I justify getting one of these? And just as I was pondering it and sitting on another one, I noticed over in the corner of the showroom, in the window at the back of the showroom, was one of the very last unregistered 1250 GS Adventures in a very, very nice blue and black and red rally colour scheme with an Akrapovic exhaust on it. All the bells and whistles, really. and after all the thinking about a 1300, I decided that was the bike I wanted, so that's what I've got, and here it is. Here is my brand new 6 months ago R1250 GS Adventure. So I could, you know, quite easily have stretched to a 1300, but I just like these bikes so much. You watch that last video that I made, you'd see how much I love that Adventure. It's just the miles were ticking up on it, that's all. And this was one of the last brand new unregistered 1250 GS Adventures. I think there are about a dozen brand new ones left on Auto Trade at the time I looked. So not many left in the country really, never mind at that dealership. And the interest rate was lower and they did me a good discount and they did me a reasonable deal on my old 1250. I've got no complaints. I'm very happy. Because my mileage is considerably less than it was when I got that last Adventure, I suspect that this bike will last me a good few years. I bought a service pack with it when I bought the bike. In total it's about 1100 quid for the service pack. That's all your services up to, I think, 36,000 miles or 5 years. And I'm hoping to get all my money's worth out of that service pack. So what's it like? Well, in a nutshell, it's exactly the bloody same as my last bike. There's a couple of little differences with this one. It's got that Krapovich exhaust on it, which is actually gives a really nice engine note. I think the tone of that is really nice, especially when you put the bike in dynamic mode. Quite a throaty exhaust note, so noticeably nicer than the last one. It looks better as well. It's a nicer looking cam on it. It's not excessively loud, but it's yeah, it's got a nicer engine note, exhaust note with that one on. And the other difference with this bike in this spec is it has a single piece seat. It's still a two-person seat. I can still carry a pillion on it. And one of my justifications for getting this bike over the 1300 was that all my accessories would transfer straight across from the previous GS Adventure. So I didn't have to buy a new top box plate. I didn't have to buy a new seat cover. You know, like these cool seat covers. I didn't have to buy any accessories for this bike. And of course, when I got it, the single piece seat, which is in a very funky blue and white Essex style 1980s colour scheme, but I had to get a new seat cover for it. And the other surprise was that the base plate for me top box wouldn't fit, and that's because the grab handles, the metal structure around them, the bars at the rear of the bike, and you wouldn't have known this by looking at it, are a completely different design. So I had to get a new base plate for my top. But other than that, all the accessories have swapped over. Everything else that I had on the other bike swapped over to it quite nicely. And I've settled in, done a few miles on it now. Got the running in service done at 600 miles. I still feel like that's a bit of a rip-off BMW. Include that in the price of the bike, couldn't you? 600 miles, you've only it's only a couple of runs out for me, that. And it's on about 3,500 miles now. So halfway to its first proper service. I've been really happy with it. I have had a couple of little issues. I woke up one morning to go to work and it failed to start a couple of times. It started on the third occasion, the dashboard lit up. It didn't light up red, it lit up yellow. Put the warning triangle on with a message saying get the bike checked by your dealers. So I took it into Barkers. They were very good. They got me in at 3 o'clock on a Friday afternoon and then told me that he'd had a coolant leak. The coolant leak was as a result of a faulty water temperature sender. Not necessarily faulty, but I think the gasket or the washer where it goes into the engine block had leaked, and they didn't have any new ones in stock, so they had to keep the bike for a few days, risk of damaging the engine. And they lent me a 1300 GS for a few days, which was nice. Anyway, the only other issue I've had with this bike is the SOS thing down here. It's a common issue with these, and BMW know about it. it is, they have a fix, they have a software fix for it. What happens is this SOS thing, you lift this flap up and there's a button under it, it's got a SIM card in it, and if you drop your bike, the bike rings somebody, it rings somebody up, and this voice comes over it saying, is everything okay? I think it rings your mum up. So SOS button down, it rings your mum up, checks that you're alright. But for some reason they've had this never-ending fault. It used to do it on the previous GS Adventure. And there's a new one. It's nice in that colour scheme. Anyway, there is a software fix for it, and they've promised me they're going to do it at its first proper service. To be fair, it's not done it for the last few weeks. I've not had the issue with it, so I'm losing any sleep over that. Other than that, the bike has been absolutely bang on. One of the nice things about buying them from BMW is you do get that good service from the dealers. They let me a 1300 GS for a few days. I was working it, every day when I had that bike, so I didn't have enough time to make a video about it, but I liked it a lot. It was a nice bike. Much more of a road bike than GS's of old. Stiffer, more accurate on the handling. I quite liked it. The engine wasn't noticeably quicker than these, but it had, plenty of punch with it. What else can I tell you about it? Well, it's TE spec. It's just exactly the same spec as the last one that I had. So TE spec, let me try and think, what does that bring? You get the ESA, which is the electronic suspension adjustment. You can adjust the preload, the ignition on the stationary, and you can adjust damping settings between road and dynamic. They are noticeably different, most of them. It's got, I forget what BMW's term is, it's something pro, gear shift assist pro, that's right, it's a quick shifter. It never really suits this boxer engine, to be honest, but it's pretty good on this one. Fourth there, clicking up to fifth, clicking up to sixth. I'm not using the clutch. It's better at higher speeds in higher gears than it is at lower speeds in lower gears. And you're still smoother clutching it through, but I quite like that quick shifter. Quite a bit, and it comes with heated grips and don't know. Forgot what else TE spec comes with. Never mind. Look it up. You've got the internet. Oh, it's got that electronic. I call it the handbrake. It's not a handbrake. But it's like Hill Start Assist Pro or something like that. There's always something pro in it. Hill Start Assist Pro. There's 3 settings on that. You can have it off. You can have it on automatic, so it detects when you're on a slope above a certain degree. I don't know what degree that is. 15 degrees or whatever. And it puts the rear brake on automatically, or you can have it manual, which means you just squeeze the brake lever or the brake pedal a little bit extra after you've come to a stop, and it will hold the bike. That's the setting I have it on, manual. And I like it a lot, that feature. Works really well. Especially on those awkward hill starts you have to do at a junction where there's an awkward camber and all the rest of it. You're trying to jump with the rear brake and getting first gear and all the rest of it. You can just squeeze that on and it just lets itself off automatically, just like automatic handbrakes and cars. I like it. So that's it, really. That's my new bike. Thought I'd show it you, show off a bit, I suppose. But yeah, there's my new bike. Hope you like it. Let me know what you think. Did I make the right decision getting a 1250 rather than a 1300? And one of the other things about getting a brand new out of the box bike is they can come with little bits of issues when they're new. I always think the first owners of a new bike or a new car always do the last bit of development for the manufacturers, weed out those longer term problems. Whereas if you're buying an end of run bike or car, hopefully all that stuff's been sorted out. So yeah, I'll keep you updated on this bike. I've got some other stuff coming up with the bikes this year as well. I've had a year off the Fireblade last year. I just never taxed it, but I'm going to tax that in a couple of weeks. Get it MOT'd and back on the road, so I'll do a couple of videos on the Fireblade this summer. My old vintage bike I built, the old 1938 AGS, that's had a significant rebuild. It's had a rebuilt magneto. It had a little fire, with a bit of an incident with it. So I stripped down a big part of that bike, rebuilt it, rewired it all, and that's running really nicely now, so we'll do a video on that at some point. And the little Honda C90, the little Honda Cub, turns 40 this year, so it will be getting MOT'd and taxed for the last time. It's going to save me a fortune when I don't have to tax that thing. I think it was 27 quid for the year. Who says the government never gives you anything back? So I'll do a few videos with those as well. Yeah, I've got a trip down to France in June. I don't think I'll do any video on them. We're going down to watch Le Mans. I might do. But for now, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think of the new bike. Don't forget to go and have a look at the website. I had a bit of a fail with my website last week. It stopped working. The hamster that runs it fell off the wheel, and the wheel stopped turning, and I had to get my son James to fix it for you. You always need one of your children to fix it for me. Fortunately, James is a software engineer, so he fixed it in about 30 seconds. So if you have tried getting in touch with me and found the website down, it's back up again now. There's loads of information there about advanced and performance driving and riding, information about the books that I've written, which, to be fair, are about driving. I need to write a book about motorcycling. Try and get something out before Christmas. And there's information there about how you can get a day's driver or rider coaching with me if you fancy it, if you fancy a ride out. This is quite a nice run, isn't it? We're in the Forest of Bowland. Generally heading from east to west across the Forest of Bowland. Lovely part of the world this. Fancy a driver or ride out on some of these roads, drop me an email, sort something out. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.